Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And I've seen a few requests for this video pop up, so I figured I'd go ahead and make it. But, for a lot of us, we have completed all 100 stages of the second anniversary 3x event that's going until the end of February, so there is still a lot of time left. As of recording this video, it is November 18th, so if you're watching this like 2 months from now, like, we could do it then, you could do it now. It doesn't really matter as long as you get it done before the 28th of February. But the final stage, which is a Dark Veldora attempt, can be difficult for newer players. And, this event is active for so long to give people the time to build their boxes up to get more units that would be able to take on the stage. So this Veldora has 577,000 HP, which is a pretty big ask for newer players that don't have good gear, that don't have dupes, their units are barely leveled up, and he's got, 10,000 defense, he gives himself more defense and physical resistance, he nerfs greens, which are a pretty common team, and he heals himself after turn 8. So this Veldora is essentially a watered down version of the Tempered Edge Light 3.0 Veldora that already existed in game, in the EX5 version, because this Veldora has 1.7 million HP and 13k defense. So maybe if we drop him down to like EX2, maybe it's EX1, I guess would be the closest thing. Yeah, I think that's exactly. So this is EX1 Veldora Tempered Edge, which if you have the light team or any blue stacking team, you can definitely get this done. But we're going to showcase some teams that exist as of right now that can clear this limited event. So we'll start off with the Light 3.0 team, and then we'll move on to the current 2-year anniversary team, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, so the first team, Shuna, Milim, the second anniversary Rimuru, who's, got his own orb changing. He has the rainbow orbs. Raphael's the nuker. Lumi's the secondary nuker. Megamine's the orb change and alt buffer. This team will be able to do it. You don't even need probably the full power of Megamine. You could be like Water Shuna or something, and you don't need this Rimuru. As long as you have, Shuna, Raphael, and Lumi at the very least, you'll be able to clear it. Especially since this Veldora does not have stun resistance, so you don't even need to go to turn 8 to actually like seal the stun that Veldora would have with Lumi. You don't even need that. So this team is gonna blaze through it. I'm not even going to worry about bad starting hands. We're just gonna go. So we'll bring you guys in. We'll just send these oranges, and then we'll pray that we get a good hand next turn. I don't know if we're gonna get the protection gauge because we've got Lumi and Violet and Megamine for turn 2 protection. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Yeah, almost, but not quite. So, yeah, we can go ahead and do this. It'll change most of them. Again, like this team, because it's not 1.7 million HP, it's not going to be terribly difficult to do this. Like, we're already taking chunks off. Okay, that's unfortunate. Sure. We'll do the stack here. We just need like probably one alt and maybe 200 points before we can do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get you out of here because we have a lot of Megamine orbs coming in. And then hopefully we can just convert all those and call it a day. And I think we can maybe use the Unity orbs. Oh, okay, that works too. We'll just use Unity. So we'll bring you in, we'll use Rimuru, convert all these to rainbows, and then we'll bring Raphael in, and that'll give us the Lumi alt and the Raphael alt, and it'll give me a decent amount of points, and we can probably nuke him very easily. Maybe not super early for some players, but this is... we definitely have enough. So, what can we do here? We have 2 alts. We could use this buff and then your buffs, technically. I think we'll be able to do it. He doesn't have that much health. What does he have left? 465? Well, I mean, we're gonna try and nuke here, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Well, Yeah, sure, why not? We'll do it. We only have a few stacks. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Lumi does 187. Raphael does 210. And this might actually kill. Oh, there. Okay, there you go. So, turn 5. Raphael is skill fused, which means that Lumi was also getting that extra 40% stun strike. So that definitely did help. But it's... if you've got the bones of the team, you've got the bones of the team. You don't have to go to turn 8 and use every single buff available. You can just do it. We got 2 more attempts, so let's get 2 more teams going. Alright, next up is some makeshift second anniversary team. We've got Violet, we've got Blanc, we've got Lumi, we've got 1.5 anniversary Guy, half anniversary Milim, and then OG Space Rimuru. He does have his skill fusion, so he's a lot better than what a lot of people are going to have him at level 80. But as long as you have a good single target nuker, or 2, this team is going to do wonders for you. So we'll jump in. And again, we're not really going to worry about starting hands or anything, because it doesn't really matter. We know, based on showcases that I've done either recently or long ago, depending on when you watch this video, that Violet can do millions upon millions of damage, and he only has 500,000, so it won't be terribly difficult. That is an interesting hand right there. We will capitalize on that, and we'll just send all this. Perfect. And that gets her almost an ult, or does it get her an ult? It almost gets her an ult, but that's a good hand too. So, we'll do 1, 2. Boom, boom. And then we'll just run it with 1 stack. And we can skip this. This will get Violet's ult, so I mean, that's cool. I don't actually want Violet's ult this early. Yeah, I don't really want Violet's ult this early. Let's skip to somebody else. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Blanc has type advantage and super weak point, so she's gonna do the most damage. I should send her last, now that I think about it. But yeah, we're taking huge chunks off the Veldora's health bar, and we're not even ulting, so we're looking okay. So we'll do that, and then we'll bring Violet back in for Milim now that she only has 1 orb, and use her orb, get another stack on, and honestly, like I think we could probably kill. I mean, well, I say that. We're doing a lot of damage. Why did I send Blanc last? God damn it. I literally just got done talking about that. Okay, well, that's a slight misplay. That's an unfortunate hand right there. Can we get out of it, though? Do we have enough points to get out of it? I think it's 70 per... yeah, we have enough. Even when the RNG gods do not work with me, the power of having both Guy and Violet on the same team is overwhelming, to say the least. Because we can literally change the entire hand around to... nope, no, don't be an idiot. There we go. So now we have a Violet ult, we have a Blanc ult, and we're going to be able to kill. Because we're going to have synergy, we're going to have multiple buffs here, and... I mean, I guess I could use the weak point. Yeah, why not? So we have 250 points to play with. We can do the magic buff. Actually, we can do everything right here. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So ult buff, magic buff, and then the weakness strike and synergy resistance, and Blanc's gonna kill by herself. So, yeah, 630. So we did more there than he has starting HP. So there we go. You could go, if your team isn't as good, you can go longer. You can go to 8 turns if you need to and get more stacks in, more buffs to use, but that's able to do it. Let's use some old team now. Alright, so we're going to use the Water 2.0 team. Water Milim, the free-to-play Cleash, because she's got the magic resistance down, which will help, and she's orb changing. Free-to-play Rimuru, orb changing. Water Xion is not going to be at full power because we cannot use her crit buff, because this Veldora does have quite a bit of crit resistance, so we don't really want to do that. We have Hinata, who technically wants to crit because she's got her 40% crit damage buff, but I don't really know if that's going to work. And then we've got Water Shuna for the ult buff and her single target. So we'll see if by 8 turns we can get this team rolling and do 577,000 damage between maybe 3 ults or something. But this team probably will need some good RNG, so I'm going to bring you back when we have a good turn 1, and then we'll go from there. Alright, we got a good starting hand finally, so we'll go ahead and use... we'll use Rimuru's Orb Change here. That way we get the extra protection gauge. We're not going to get a double stack because we don't have any prime. We have one turn 2 protection gauge unit, but it's not going to be enough. So we'll just flip Cleash and Rimuru out. That way we get the protection gauge and then the extra skill points from both Hinata and Shuna. And then we'll kind of just have to go from there. So ideally, we'd want 3 ults here with Shuna, Xion, and Hinata. That way everybody gets the damage buff. The magic debuff coming from Cleash doesn't have to be applied to anyone up front, so we don't really have to worry about that. That is not a great turn 2, but we're just going to have to deal with it, because I don't want to keep resetting for a turn 1 send. Is there anything we can do about that? Well, actually there is. So let's get Rimuru out for Hinata, or in for Hinata. We'll use his orb change, and then we'll use Cleash's orb change to get the greens, since it's still at base cost. And we'll miss out on some Hinata orbs, but that's fine. We have plenty of turns to get it back. None of these characters are EX, so we don't need like a double ult gauge. Therefore, we don't really need to bring someone who's alt swapping out, unless you really want to make it easier. But I mean, we're still doing pretty decent chunks of damage right here. It's not that big of a deal. Let's do the Cleash and then Shuna, and then we can get Cleash out of here for Hinata. And we'll get 2 more stacks of water attack for Milim. And this will just be... we'll probably go to turn 8 on this run, because this is such a very underpowered team at this point. It's a traditional stacking team, it's just that the power of the buffs we're carrying with us is nowhere near what we're now using with EX teams and the full metas, which give the 60% extra damage buff against certain typings. So we're going to be missing out on a little bit of power here and there, and that's just something we're going to have to live with. Okay, Shuna getting her ult first is actually not the greatest thing. I would have rather had Xion get her ult first, because Shuna's our primary orb changer. So, I mean, it still does technically work out. We can get her out of here. We can use Cleash for her orb change. Oh, I totally forgot. We can seal the crit resistance with Hinata, can't we? Okay, well, we can full buff then. Alright, see, that's how long it's been since I've really used the Water 2.0 team, is that I sometimes forget that Hinata has the crit resistance seal, so we can actually go full power. That's an interesting hand right there. Xion has an ult. What are we going to do here? So let's do... we can get you out of here. We use this orb change. We'll get the stack on all 3 of the water units. And then this should get Hinata's ult. No, it won't. Well, yeah, she might. Ooh. No, let's do this. Okay. And then we'll use his orb change. And then we're going to start sending 5 blues, and that's pretty much what we have to do here. So, I mean, you could bring an ult swapper if you have access to one. Shizu, I mean, will help here for the ult swap, but no one's type advantage against Dark, so the weakness buff is kind of wasted. Okay, sure, that works. This will get Hinata's ult right here, and we're on turn 6, and we've not really taken that much damage either, which is the plus. I mean, this is a low-tier Tempered Edge stage, so it's not going to hit as hard as an EX5 or an Inferno stage, which is nice. So even, cheeky counters like that are not a terribly big setback, unless you're really, really low gear, of which I don't know if you're actually able to take on the stage if you're that low. So we'll leave Rimuru up front. We have plenty of skill points now, so we don't really need to worry about too much. We just need to make sure we have an orb to swap in for Rimuru, so we're just going to send these Shuna orbs. leave the Rimuru orb so we can bring in Shion next turn. And we'll go ahead and use Cleash. We'll use her magic debuff now. And then we'll bring Shion in. And then we almost have a full hand. So we'll do the attack and crit damage, seal the crit resistance, 5% extra ult and 30% water resistance down, 50% water attack, and the guaranteed crits and 10% magic attack up. And this should be plenty of damage, enough to kill Veldora. What's his health at right now? 350. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do it. So we'll send these. Shion does 73k. All right, now it's not a lot, but doesn't need to be too much. Shuna does 151, and Hinata with her crit damage buff will do, 241 right there. So yeah, even the Water 1.0 team with old units and free-to-play Rimuru and Cleash are able to clear it, as long as you have a generic blue stacking team. I'm fairly certain even like the Space 1.0 team could do it, as long as you brought like Fire Millum for the crit seal. But alright, so that's the 3 attempts for today. Since this event is around for so long, the next time we get a blue team or any kind of team, we can bring them in here and we can use it as a test bed. It won't be that hard, and we're not really in danger of dying either. So you'll expect a few more videos on this stage, or the stage at least being used for different showcases. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.